Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Hypnosis Without Trance blog. It's 2011, it's August, and as usual I am James Tripp. Today we're going to be talking about something particularly important, not just to hypnosis, but to communication in general and to life in general. It's the concept of getting feedback from what is often framed as failure. So this is all about failure and feedback loops. Now, if you're NLP trained, you will be familiar with the old NLP presupposition, there's no failure, only feedback. The question is, I would ask, to what degree do you actually live that? To what degree do you believe that? To what degree do you believe it really deep down in your core? I know from experience that just knowing that, hearing that, there's no failure, only feedback, isn't enough. It isn't enough. We often don't utilise the feedback from apparent failures. So I want to show you a practical example of how this applies in hypnosis, of actually being able to utilise feedback from something that is ostensibly failure. I'm going to show you a clip from the Hypnosis Wizardry live training that I've just been running this weekend that's just passed. And what you're going to see is you're going to see me failing twice to get a name amnesia. I'm going to fail twice, and then on the third time I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the name amnesia. But what I want you to really pay attention to is how I end up getting the name amnesia to work with the guy who's volunteered for the demo, Andy. So the third time when I get it, you're going to see me utilising some very specific feedback that Andy has given on the first two failures. This is a live example of really using this concept of no failure, only feedback, but making sure you get the feedback, because I've seen plenty of hypnotists fail and just curse and walk off. So always make sure you get feedback. Now watch how this is done. Here's the clip. As you hear that playing, just watch that's gone. What happens when you try and say your name and it's gone? Try and say it when it's gone, all the way out there. It goes further. Try and say it as it's gone. Andy. Okay, so where is that name now?
It's there.
It's there. You mean here on the label, or there in your...
There, like, just outside me.
Just outside you. Okay, so where could we take that? And do you need to feel that disappear around behind you? Disappear around behind you. Feel that, or watch that go. And when that's gone, and it's just bang, boom, boom, gone. Try and say your name and it's gone. Try.
Andy.
Gone. Wow. Try and say your name.
Andy.
Okay, just like go for a second take on that. How's that foot now? Still stuck?
Still stuck.
Still stuck.
What I noticed was that with the foot being stuck, it was a very kinesthetic feeling, very physical feeling. I could feel that. And then with regards to the name, I wasn't able to cerebrally lose my name like that. But when the rigidity, I could feel that rigidity literally setting, going right up through my legs, right up through. I could feel it, freezing my, like turning to stone, all my muscles, all my tissue.
Just to follow on from Jürgen's question, you were saying that you could really feel that.
Yes.
So when you could feel that, what was that like to really feel that?
It was a very vivid experience.
Yeah.
It was very tactile.
Tactile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to feel yourself in a very tactile way, cerebrally losing your name now, what would that be like to cerebrally lose your name in a very tactile way like that? And have it gone. So try and say your name and you lose it in a cerebrally tactile way. What happens when you try and say it and you lose it in a cerebrally tactile way? So try and say it when you lose it and lose it in a cerebrally tactile way. So it's gone now, and try and say it. Tactile, gone. Try and say your name. And you try. Try, it just goes and it's gone. Try and say that. And then just Dan. Can you say your name now?
Andy.
Okay, so what was that like?
That was a real trip.
Okay, so that was a real trip.
It was a very, that was kinesthetic. That was removing, that was my name actually, because I'm a nuts and bolts guy as well, putting it into you know, physically putting it somewhere, removing it, putting it into a cerebral envelope, putting it into a train track and booming it off over there somewhere. And that made it very difficult to link to it at a cerebral level.
Okay, now what you will have seen is you will have seen Andy using some specific words that describe his experience that are specifically relevant to him. Now some people will tell you that words are less important in hypnosis, it's all about intent. Intent is important, but so are words. The words that Andy gives mean something to him. They connect to his experience and they connect to his way of doing things. So I utilise elements of what he's described, the actual words and the concepts behind them, to generate for him an experience that disconnects him from his name, so to speak. One last point I want to make about this is a lot of people write to me and ask me for my method for doing something, for a little script for doing a particular hypnotic phenomenon. And one of the things I find frustrating about that is hypnosis is not about scripts. I've said this before, it's about a live interaction, it's about a feedback loop. And this is another reason I wanted to share this clip with you, so you could see that feedback loop in action. So would you like to know more about getting feedback from failure? If you would, I'd like to invite you to join me on a teleseminar and webinar, which I'm going to be running next Wednesday, which is Wednesday the 24th of August. It will be at 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time or World Time, which is 8 p.m. My local time. I'll put on the blog other times. Once again, you're going to have the opportunity to ask questions ahead of time. You can put them in the box below, or you can join on the call and ask questions then. It's all about getting the feedback from failure. So as failure doesn't have to be failure at all. It just becomes something that gives you the information you need to go on to succeed. Okay, so that's going to be on Wednesday, next Wednesday the 24th, 7 p.m. GMT, which is 8 p.m. British Summer Time at the moment. And as I say on the blog, I will let you know either above or below this video other world times. Okay, look forward to speaking to you on the seminar. Take care.